Too clever,
but
too lazy. So welcome to Too Clever, Too Lazy, episode 7.
Yes, welcome to our show where we make it up as we go along.
That's how it is. So how was your weekend?
Oh my God. How was my weekend? Well, it was great. I got so fucking stoned.
Yeah.
My friend from Utah, the Ruby bitch, that friend. It's kind of funny
Yeah.
that I told that story.
It's clandestine. It was meant to be.
It was. Because we were just talking, randomly.
Wait. Was she planned on coming, or did she just like after that happened, she hit you up or something like that? How'd this happen?
It was like a spur of the moment thing. I forget how it happened.
But you weren't talking to her before that story. You just told that story, and then you guys ended up connecting.
Yeah, I hit her up and was like, I was thinking about you. I miss hanging out and space cruising. You got to come see me in Humble. It's rad. She's like, oh yeah, we'll come there. We'll bring you some of the soaps, and because her and her husband do the Etrubian soaps. Yeah, like this whole trip was very kismet. Like a lot of weird things aligned for this because there was even little personal things I think about, like in my head.
Personal things, like I think about personally. You get it.
Yeah, the personal stuff that I think about personally.
Put them in the personals. Personal ads.
Just the personals. But yeah, like just some crazy shit that I've been thinking about. And then, here they are with the solution. And I'm like, shut up. Okay. It's like, it was cool.
Nice.
It was a really great week. But anyway, one of the days yesterday, she's like, yeah, I like to do a little microdosing. And
Jesus.
I was like, yeah, I've been wanting to do that too. It's like psilocybin cures so many things.
It does. It's really the god eye, whatever.
Yeah. And so what's funny is I haven't done shrooms in a long time because the way Alan and his friends do it, just pissed me off. And I'm like, I'm over it.
Dude.
But I figured if they ever came back in my life, that it's like, a spiritual thing I needed, whatever. And she's...
I have some shrooms in my freezer for like 3 years now. Like 2021, my one of my coworkers gave me some free shrooms, and they've just been in our freezer because we haven't found the right time to do them. So you have a 3 to 4 to 5. She's like 6.
Yeah, exactly.
There's never a time to do it, dude. And
you know what you do?
Do it separately.
Grind them up in a food processor and then just lick your finger and do a little finger of the dust, and it's a perfect microdose. Yeah, it's the perfect, and it's just the perfect. But see, I did 2, the first day, and then we smoked a joint like right there, on the beach. And I was like, okay, maybe I should have waited.
Right there on the beach, boy. Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Those are 2 different accents, but they sound the same when I do them. When I do them, they sound the same.
That's what I was Yeah, it was awesome. And then she's like, she didn't tell me that until today, but she was like, doesn't the food when you're microdosing taste like the best food you ever had? And I'm like, is that what is going on? Because I cannot stop eating these fucking Costco cookies. I'm like,
no, it was more like, is that what's going on? Is that what's up?
I know. I was like, these are so good. Yeah, I woke up with the biggest tummy ache because I ate too much sugar the night before. My mom warned me of this.
Dude, now it sucks too. We're at that age where like all the stuff our moms warned about when we're like that's such what that's some old people shit. No, we're there now.
Oh yeah.
It sucks, dude. Stomach aches for too much sugar. Like I have to like start, if I do drink, I have to wait till 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're old now. We're old, dude.
Well, yeah, I can't drink caffeine after 3 or 4 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
I'm up all night.
Fuck. Screwed my whole... It's like I just did meth. I might as well just done meth.
For real. We went into the Redwoods. I took him up into the Avenue of the Giants,
Avenue of the Giants.
Yeah, that's what they call it. It's gorgeous. And we went hiking, or not hiking, but we went around the trail. And then we got lost, I got turned around.
Best.
I was like, this is cool. And this family with small children were following us. We're like, you don't want to follow us. We don't know where we're going. But then we found the trail shortly after. And I was like, oh, someone should go tell them we found it.
Right. He's going to go back all crazy. Freaking dilated pupils. Hey, we found it. Found what?
Dilated pupils or pupils? But anyway, yeah, we so we did the microdose, had another pre-roll, in the
Hmm.
forest. It was really fun. I was looking for the perfect stick. I wanted to make a staff, and
Right.
like really, I just really love finding the perfect walking stick.
You're a
And I
dude. You're
was,
such a dude. That's a dude
I
thing for
know,
sure.
well, maybe, but I was looking and looking. I'm like, I kept picking up ones, and I'm like, nah, this isn't right. And then,
Right.
I try to walk with one. I'm like, yeah, this one's not good. So we're still going, we're going, and I literally was like, how cool would it be if I just saw the perfect one just lean like just right there in, it was like,
Right.
and I turned a corner and there was literally the perfect stick leaning up against a tree, just
Like
like
someone left it for you,
yeah, like staring at me like, "Hello, Stephanie." And
like
I'm
that
like,
fucking fan.
yeah. Yeah. But I was like, what? I was like, this was for me. And I walked up to it and there was like a heart on the tip of the stick. I was like, well, that's perfect, heart, I gotta take it.
Right.
And
And then,
yeah, it was heavy though, and then of course getting lost, that sucked. So I was like, I
right.
am not leaving this stick, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to drag it at this point.
So it was less of a walking stick and more of a just a cumbersome in the way.
Yeah, it's an in the way stick.
Yeah, in the way stick. I saw an Australian guy do like a whole bit about finding the perfect stick, and then that's what I'm
No,
like,
I sent
that's
you the
wow.
video. Yeah, I sent you the
Is that
video.
you?
Yeah, I sent it to you, and he posted the stick on his story, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that is the perfect stick." I was like, because he was talking about like people judging him for this stick,
Right.
and I was like, "Dude, I would judge you if you didn't take that stick." And he liked my comment. I was like,
Oh, nice, dude.
"Yeah,
You're
yeah."
connecting, dude. You're
I know,
connecting with the universe.
I know. I was like, "Oh, he knows I exist. That's
Yeah, yeah,
cool."
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so then we go to this diner after we leave the forest, because we're all hungry as shit, 'cause we're stoned and
Right.
you know. And we go there and I ordered nachos right off the bat, and we're eating these nachos while we're trying to figure out what we want to eat. And
I just
god
picture
damn
there's
it.
like nachos on the tip of a bat that you're eating them off of.
I know the balancing act, that
Yeah,
chef, it
right
was
off the
just,
bat, dude.
yeah,
Nachos.
he deserves a fucking tip too,
You guys do too, though. You guys do too. Anyway, go ahead.
But they were the best fucking nachos ever, dude. She's
Mm,
like, and I was like, oh yeah, this is and that's when she told me the whole everything tastes so amazing. And I'm like, is that what's going on?
hmm.
And like, I ordered a Coke. I don't like Coke. I like
Yeah,
Pepsi. And
really.
that was
But
the
but
best
today it didn't
fucking
even matter.
cola. Yeah, it was the best. It was
It's just
so good.
today it was all cola. It didn't even matter.
Uh-huh. And then
You realize you saw through the lies.
it kind of died once I got to my sandwich. I got like a triple decker club, and
Right.
it kind of, the guy, maybe the guy who put the nachos on the bat was on,
Hooah!
who put the nachos on the bat went on break
Yeah.
because that sandwich sucked. It was like croutons. It was eating croutons. It was
In the
so over.
sandwich?
Oh no, the toast, it was too
Oh, the
toasted. It was
toast
like,
was like a crouton. Gotcha.
yeah, it was
I
like
thought like you
eating
meant like the
croutons.
chef, just like one chef went on break. Then the guy's like, I don't understand what Caesar salad in a sandwich, dude. And they just put croutons in it. No, that's not what happened. I get it.
No, yeah, the bread was like croutons. It was horrible. So
Yeah,
yeah, I was like, well, the novelty wore off.
yeah, I did.
But
Sadly.
I was like, I kind of want to hang out and, it's adventure, but I'm like, I don't know how gone I'm going to be, if I'm going to be able to talk about stuff. Because, like, even at the restaurant, I was like reading the words to the food and it just was like, wah, wah, wah,
Oh,
wah,
you're
wah,
telling
wah.
me? Do you remember that text I sent you that one time?
Oh my God, I know. Yeah.
Fucking, I
Baking,
thought,
baking,
yeah, baking thing. I'm thinking about baking, but
ATM.
you got the gist.
Yeah.
So speaking of food, are you done or?
It's okay. We're having a conversation.
All right,
Go
no,
ahead.
because I was like thinking of food. So I have my random thought of the day. Which do we ever come up with a sound bite for that? We do. We have.
No, we never did,
We will but
because it was
we
like
will.
thought of the day.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you wanted to do? At the end of it.
Thought of the day.
Like an 80s, very 80s. But all right, so
It has to be. That's
I ha-
apparently the only kind of music I know how to make is shit that sounds like it's from the fucking 80s. God.
oh man,
Everybody,
that's what everyone says.
yeah, whenever I play my music, oh, it sounds like an 80s song. Okay,
That's just they
thanks.
don't know anything else. They don't know what else to say. They're like, oh, it has synths in it, it's 80s.
Well, not to like segue into a different topic because I do want to talk about stuff related to music, but like I've been rediscovering a lot of the Lady Gaga songs I used to listen to and
Mhm.
when I lived in Utah.
Right.
Like some of them, they sound straight up from the 80s. I was like, maybe this is my influence a little bit
Who knows?
of
Oh, Joe, I can definitely tell, especially when I was like a teenager, I could definitely tell when I listened to music that I made at the time, I could definitely tell who I was listening to that month I made it or whatever. Because there's definitely the influence was hard in it. And I didn't realize at the time, but then looking back, oh shit, yeah, no, holy shit. Okay, but anyway, here's my random thought of the day. It started, I'll give you a little brief description of how it started. So I found these peanut butter Snickers. Have you seen them?
peanut butter Snickers. Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen
And
those.
they come in like little squares. They're really hard. I don't know. In my area, they're really hard to find. But then if you put them in the freezer for like 30 minutes, they're perfect, dude. They're so amazing. And anyway, it got me thinking about how much I like peanut butter. Do you fuck with peanut butter?
I love peanut butter. Are you
You
kidding
love.
me?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh
Okay, so
yeah.
we're on the right path. Okay, so second side of this, on Friday at my work, they had this employee appreciation day where they had a bunch of barbecue stuff. And I asked one of the employees, like, because I'm swing shift, he's day shift. I was like, how was it? And he was like, everything was amazing except for the ribs. Everyone told me the ribs were good, but I didn't try them. And I was like, well, why? And he was like, because there's barbecue sauce. And I'm like, I'm not following. And he's like, I don't like barbecue sauce, which is crazy to me. Do you like
Yeah,
barbecue?
Max, I do. Max doesn't. Yeah,
Right, which
Max
is
is one of
weird.
those that doesn't. Yeah, he's really
But
weird about it. Yeah.
barbecue sauce. Okay, but do you like? But then he followed it up with, which sounds weird enough, but he followed it up with, and actually, I really don't like barbecue flavoring, like barbecue, like the smoky flavor at all.
What?
Right. Okay. So then that got me thinking of this. Gun to both your daughters' heads. I have two guns, and you have to make a choice. Which one are you giving up? All peanut butter related stuff or all barbecue flavored stuff? Barbecue chips, brisket, baked beans, or Reese's peanut butter sandwiches. You get it.
Oh God.
Apples.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
tough one,
you
right?
had to say apples.
Yeah. No, I knew I was going to get you with the apple. That's why I threw it in there last second.
No, between brisket and a Reese's peanut butter cup, I'm choosing brisket.
Well,
Like, are you
obviously, that's why I
kidding
had to
me?
throw in
Oh
like
yeah,
apples and like celery
because
and like all the stuff you can put peanut butter on.
because I actually prefer savory over sweet any day. Yeah.
Same,
Oh
all
yeah,
day, dude.
savory all
But
day.
peanut butter is perfect because it's got both. It's sweet, but it's still got a
It's
little bit
got
of that.
both,
Right.
dude.
But L with the L, hard L.
Dude, I found a really good protein powder. It's like a chocolate peanut butter protein powder.
Okay.
Yeah, I
What's it
love
called?
it. It's from Naked Nutrition.
All right. But yeah, but okay, so you're unable to decide. Because I
Unable.
was too.
What? I just made a
Oh
choice.
no, you said
I said
okay, but you're saying
savory all day.
so you're
Savory.
going you're saying fuck, you can go without peanut butter if it
Yeah.
comes. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
if it came down to it, yeah, I could
If it came down
sacrifice.
to it.
Yeah, if it went up to it though, then
Yeah. I mean, if
that's
it's
a
going
whole
up,
other story.
if it's more of a glass half. But yeah,
Half up.
it's one of the directions. I'm thinking
What
I'm the
about
same
you?
way. Yeah, I'm thinking it's because it's hard though because like there's peanut butter in so much stuff, and like I eat like a lot of peanut butter related stuff.
That explains a lot.
Does it? I'm listening. I've got a nut rich diet, but then also too,
Oh, yes, you do.
but then also I think
No,
about
no, those badoom. Hey,
hey,
or no, badoom. Hey.
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's with a lot of echo and like a cheerleader thing. But anyway, so I was thinking about this part of it too, though. Like I had a buddy in high school, and he was in cross country, and
country.
crossing that country. And his coach, he was always kind of skinny, and his coach told him to eat pasta and peanut butter, like just by the
Oh, God.
spoonfuls, right? No coach has ever said eat more barbecue, boy, or whatever. Like that's not a thing. So healthier wise, I think peanut butter, it's obviously healthier too. So I don't know, whatever. So you're saying barbecue is in, peanut butter is out. Get that peanut butter out of my face.
That's an interesting choice. What was the reason why we were choosing between those two?
Oh, it's just because like I got really infatuated with this peanut butter. Like like I said, I can't find it anywhere.
What
These
kind
peanut
of
butter
peanut butter?
Snickers, the peanut butter
Oh,
Snickers.
the peanut butter stickers.
Except
Okay.
yeah, only in seven. Like we looked everywhere, and they're only at 7-Elevens. They're not at Target or Target, yeah, Target actually at Winco, at Walmart, all the places that would have candy. Safeway, nothing. But then only 7-Elevens or online, right?
Weird.
So yeah, so I was like, I don't, So then I was like, man, I got really obsessed with peanut butter. And then we had this barbecue meal, and then I remember, since the swing shift lead, I get all the leftovers. So I brought this big tray. So we've been eating nothing but barbecue the last couple of days, and like my hands smell like barbecue. And I was like, this is like awesome. This is like, like when someone's like, hey, after they finger a girl, like, hey, smell my fingers, bro.
My God.
Like, it's the same thing, dude. Smell my fingers, bro. Smell my fingers. But it was barbecue, and I was like, man, barbecue is. That's why I'm at the age right now where barbecue is sexy to me at this point. So I was like, which one?
What do you mean you're at that age? Barbecue has always been sexy.
Yeah, but
shut the fuck up.
But it's hotter than vagina to me now. But,
oh, ew.
Yeah, no, I'm obviously kidding.
Pretty
Jesus.
bad.
It's not pretty good. But anyway, what was I talking about? But yeah, barbecue or peanut butter was. Then I was like, man, that's it. But then I thought, like, man, that is a tough one though. So that's why I said random thought of the day. It doesn't have to be like super. I gave you way too much of an explanation for a random thought of the day.
Yeah,
supposed to be random.
I have two, and I can't decide which ones.
You get a random thought per episode.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Okay, well, because one of them's like a gripe of the day, but this one, okay, this is one I was thinking about. This was before, I took that weekend trip to Neptune.
Sure.
But I got the munchies, 3 a.m. kind of thing. I woke up, had to go pee, and then I'm like, I want these cookies.
Sure.
Like they're so good. And so I eat some cookies and then I have some popcorn, and I'm thinking as I'm eating them at 3 a.m., does this go on yesterday's calories or today's calories? Because I'm going back to bed, but it's the middle of the night. So It's like, what calorie counter do I put it on? That was my thought. And I typed it in. I misspelled it like a motherfucker.
Right.
I typed it in my list because I wanted to talk. I thought about that. I was like, huh.
Think, and go ahead. What's your verdict? Because I have a take on it, but what's yours?
I don't know. That's the thing is I wanted to bring it to the thought of the day because I was like, does it go on yesterday's calories?
So my thought are those in limbo calories, those ones that just don't really count. No one really sees them, really knows about them. They're just in the ether. We don't talk about those calories.
They just don't exist. Half the time you don't even remember that.
You were asleep.
Calories,
did they even happen? Did they even really happen?
If a calorie gets consumed in the forest,
right,
and no one's
there to witness it, does it really get added to your thighs?
No subconscious is with it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like your style. I'm gonna set an alarm and wake up at 3 a.m. and just eat like
an entire wedding cake.
He said
it doesn't count. Just can't breathe. All right.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, so I don't know. I forgot where I heard this, but I typed this to myself. But you know how when like someone meets you and they give you their business card? Just keep that card and then give it to someone else and pretend to be that person.
And give the wrong name.
Yeah, just be that person. Just like, hey, my name's blah blah. Just meet a person on the street just for the purpose of giving that someone else's business card and pretend to be that person to someone else. Too clever, too late, too late.
Too late. Pew, 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 pew. Well, I have some hills to die on.
Okay.
And I have some obscure laws that were
all right.
And yeah, I guess.
All right. So let me start off by saying what I picture of these kind of hills that we're dying on is they're hills they're things that we care about deeply, but they're very arbitrary. No one really cares. They don't really matter. However, bring it up around me while I'm faded and see if I don't get loud. You know what I mean? It's that kind of hill that we're talking about. So it's nothing too serious, nothing like, like, you know what I mean? Like nothing too crazy serious. But just like stupid,
not political,
right? Not political, not like no
like
hot
that.
topics. It's just something that, like, again, like no one really gives a fuck. But I'm saying, like, if I'm drunk and you bring it up, I'm like, dude, hear me out. You're not listening. A lot of that.
Well, you had to go and say that because my first one is like men are allowed to get neutered without any fucking permission whatsoever. They could just, a guy could go at the age of 21, can go into a fucking clinic and get neutered, and it's fine. But heaven forbid a woman
Neutered.
want to get spayed.
I
Fucking,
guess you. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
but no, in all seriousness, like a dude could go get a vasectomy and it's like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't even bat an eye. But a woman wants to get a hysterectomy. She's got to be a certain age. She's got to have children. She needs to have her husband's approval. She needs to have, like, just jump through all these fucking hoops. And it's
Is
like,
it a hysterectomy? You have to go that far to like.
oh yeah, because they
Really?
think
Sure.
you're gonna change your mind. And wait, you don't want kids? Why don't you want kids?
Hmm.
Like, how do you
Right.
not want kids? Like,
Right.
there was.
I like the small pauses. That was good.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, but there was this chick I was TDY with in Texas. She was 38 at the time, and I was in my early 20s.
Mhm.
And she told me, because she wanted to get a fucking hysterectomy her whole adult life. And she's like, I don't want kids. I don't
Right.
want kids. And the doctor made her wait and wait and wait. Finally, in her late 30s, she's like, look, I don't want kids. Like, I can't remember what she said, but the doctor finally relented and let her do it. But it was like, oh, you're going to change your mind. Oh, you'll change your mind.
Fucking
Every woman
17
wants
years
this.
later.
Yeah, it's like that's a hill I'll die on, because
No, that's a good hill.
because it's like, I honestly, as a woman, I at the whole, oh, women are losing their rights. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not buying into that mumbo jumbo. But shit like this,
Mhm.
I would be like, hey, yeah, this isn't cool. Like, I don't know. I just think it's a little backwards and a little.
No,
early.
I do agree with that hill. That's a solid hill. Yeah, I agree with that one. Thanks for bringing that to the table. But no, no, for real. I'm not. I know that was a very sarcastic tone. It's hard to tell sometimes with me, but I was being serious. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That
All right,
was
so-
literally the only one I could think of. The other hill to die on, my friend, I didn't really get a big response out of my post asking people, what hills
Right.
do you have? But my friend said, it's the whole Backstreet Boys NSYNC, and I'm like, sweetie, I mean, everybody knows NSYNC's better because, like, I mean,
Yeah.
look at their careers. Like, Backstreet Boys,
Yeah.
what have they done after nobody? Like, nobody knows who any of these fucking guys are. But like NSYNC, I mean, you got Justin, his career,
Yeah.
Joey Fat One, he has a great
Yeah, Joy
career
Fat
too.
one, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, Lance Bass, he's got a.
He's doing fine.
Yeah, he's doing great for himself, and yeah, they're just NSYNC is just way superior. Backstreet Boys was first. That's all,
Way superior. Way. No, whatever. I'm not. It's not a hill. I'll like watch from afar with that hill and cheer it on. Like, yeah, with my kilt, come part Scottish. Braveheart status, but I won't go up there and die on it. You know what I mean? Because I don't really care either way. But fine, fair enough. Hill. My mom. So I was kind of the other camp because my mom was she was into the Backstreet Boys. They came out first, obviously, and then they came out when I was like late elementary, so it was still like still cool. And then by the time NSYNC came out, like when NSYNC first came out, I was like just had started transitioning into like rock, and I was like only listening to rock. And I did like early NSYNC, but then they became like they were that whole late '90s where like all of them were just not cool. So I just stopped liking all of it. But at least there was a period where I did like the Backstreet Boys for longer, I suppose. So that's why I guess I was more. And plus, my mom was a fan. So I'm team Backstreet, my mom. Yay. But again, not a hill I'm ready to be like, nah, fuck that. NSYNC's they're both fine. Like looking back, and I can hear NSYNC was probably had better songs. You know what I mean?
Well, I know like the Backstreet Boys songs were really annoying to me, but at the time I didn't like R&B at the time, and they had a more R&B vibe to their music.
That's what I liked.
NSYNC, yeah, because NSYNC was more pop, and I just didn't. I don't know. Their first video drove me nuts. I remember
NSYNC's?
No, Backstreet Boys. It just was too. I don't know.
Like wanting to be like Boys to Men or something like that. Like,
yes,
they're too wet. They're too wet and too like sticking their hands out to the audience.
But like the way they're dancing and shit. I'm like, God, stop! Like,
it's too much.
White chocolate over here.
Be yourself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they were heavily influenced by Boys to Men. That's what they kind of what they were aiming to be at first. Yeah. But anyway,
I have some good music hills to die on for sure. I gotta find them.
I got a few hills, small ones, but they're still hills. So my first hill it's pronounced GIF, not GIF.
Who pronounces it GIF?
Yeah, exactly. First of all, yeah, thank you. First of all, but okay, so exactly. So I have all the arguments for why it's GIF, not GIF. There, it's gift, and they take out the T, it's GIF, and then there's already a GIF, peanut butter, it's JIF. But whatever. But the what really pisses me off about it is that nobody was debating this at all for a period. We were just happy to have GIFs. We were just happy that we had these things called GIFs. And if someone was like, "How do you?" It was like GIF, dude. It's GIF. And if someone said GIF, we're like, "That's stupid." No one said that at all. And then one day, some guy just put it on the internet somewhere. They're like, "Hey, I'm a computer nerd guy, and I say it's pronounced GIF," and people bought into it. And it like ruined it. Like people interrupted conversations because of they're like, oh, I sent a GIF to my. Well, excuse me, it's actually pronounced GIF.
That voice was fucking perfect.
I nailed it. I nailed it.
Yeah, you nailed it.
But that's how it felt. It was just why do you keep and I was like almost buying it. I was like, all right, maybe it is. Maybe I'm. I almost bought into it all.
Wrong. Damn
yeah,
it.
and then I just thought about it more, and then I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing. And then now, like you said, like no one really calls it GIF, but I still hear it every now and then. People go like, no, isn't it pronounced GIF? I'm like, how? Explain yourself, and that's a hill that's a hill that like, it's a small hill. No one really cares. No one's going to go to blows over it. But I'm saying if you get me drunk and bring it up, like I'll talk your ear off about, I'll give you all examples. I'll bring up diagrams.
I have my, yeah, I got a Venn diagram.
I have one on my phone already ready to load. Just give me an iMac, iBook, and I'll pop this PowerPoint up. One of the iBooks.
Oh, this is funny. Because I went to Reddit. Nobody fucking responded to I even posted it in the neurodivergent meme group, and they didn't even approve or deny my post. They just let it sit there. I was like, all right.
We don't even know what this is.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
All right, cool.
So I went to Reddit,
right.
and
never let you down.
Yeah, I love Reddit. All single stall bathrooms should be unisex, even if it's just a single room with one toilet and a sink. It does not need a gender. Also, if an establishment marks a single toilet restroom as men's or women's, I will use whichever one is open. Fight me. Right. And then this person said, I went to a restaurant one time where they had a single occupancy restroom labeled women and unisex. They decided to just convert the men's bathroom to the unisex one, leaving a whole line of men waiting for their only option, whereas women had two. Why not just make them both unisex? But I'm thinking, well, because like you've been to a bar, dude.
Right.
I will never pee in the dudes. Like I have to pee. If I have to pee really fucking bad, maybe I'll go in there. Like I would rather plop a squat in the alley than go into the men's room at a bar. Like you guys are fucking disgusting.
Actually, maybe at a bar, yeah, but the women's bathrooms are always disgusting. But I went to this one. There's this club downtown. It was like a hotel, but it had two clubs actually. And like the first club was like a cocktail, it had couches, like a lounge, and then the like other bottom stairs was like a basement house kind of bar where they had like the walls were tagged up, and it was like this underground, like I don't know how to what's the word, steampunk kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
But it was like a classy place, and they had all their bathrooms were just one unisex bathroom, but all the doors were like, they were clear doors, but once you locked them, they fogged up so you couldn't see them, and they were like the full length, and they were like super clean, and it was like one of the best bathroom experiences I've ever had. No, but I'm saying like it was dope though. It was definitely ahead of its time, and like there was no problems. It was never like it was never gross. People like when it's that nice, I feel like people kind of like give it a little more respect, and they don't pee all over the seat and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I went in there several times, and it was never like a disgusting place. It was one of those places too that had a guy there that would like you could like tip him and he'd give you a mint and shit.
Oh well, yeah, people don't usually, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have a place like that and then you have unisex, which was fine, and then yeah, it's cool when you lock the door, the whole thing fogs up, you can't see it. So couples would go in there too, so like that they could do some coke in the bathroom when it was still safe.
Okay, it's funny you mentioned that there was a comment that said gay bar rules apply. Piss in the men's room, take drugs in the ladies.
There you go. Boom. Oh, I like that, dude.
I know, that was funny.
Solid. All right, so here's it's a weird hill, but here's my hill is I think that if there's two things of something, listening to or checking out the lesser version first is always ideal. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so say for instance, there's this. I'll give you an example. There's this movie called Old Boy, right? Ever heard of it?
No.
There's this Korean movie came out like in '03 called Old Boy. It's this super big Korean movie, but it was remade by Spike Lee and it had Josh Brolin in it, and it was like in like the mid two like 10 years ago, something like that. When I saw that, I saw the second Josh Brolin version first, right? And I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was like well written, all this cool stuff. Then I read all the reviews and everyone was like sucked, didn't compare to the first one, blah blah blah, whoop de whoop, right? So
Hmm.
then I went back and saw the first one, and I was like, yeah, the first one is better, and all avenues, all aspects of it, just cinematically, the cinematography, the way they tell a story, the ending, it's more fucked up. However, I was still able to appreciate the second shittier version because I saw it first, as opposed to if I had seen it first, if I'd seen that one second after seeing the first one first, I would have not appreciated the second one at all. I would have thought, like everyone else did, that it sucked. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Yeah. So I've found that to do like whenever I find like if I see the reviews of like two versions of a movie, or if I have a band I want to check out and one album has shittier reviews than the other one, I'll check out the shittier one first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I can appreciate it, and then whatever I don't like about it, then I can see the quote unquote better one first, and then I'll be able to, oh shit, that one is better. I see why, but I'm also able to appreciate that shittier version as opposed to just not liking it at all, which happens all the time when you go the opposite way with it.
Well, and according to your theory,
Yeah,
you end up liking the first version better anyway. And so,
yeah, no, you end up liking the version better, which is what's supposed to happen, but you also get the appreciation of the shittier second one because you saw it first. And
yeah.
you didn't have that judgment there of that metric to judge it against, if you will.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've been doing that like a lot with like music, especially like a lot of albums. People go like, "Yeah, that one sucked because it wasn't as good. It wasn't anything like that. That's the first two that he did or something like that." I'm like, I really liked it because I heard it first. All right, you
Yeah,
get it.
for
You get it. I
real.
think I've made you enough examples. But yeah, you
Enough
get it. You get what
examples
you
to
get.
work with.
But yeah, that's my because like a lot of people will say like, "Nah, you gotta just fuck the second one and just watch the better one. Why even watch the shittier one?" And I'm like, well, someone took time and made it, and there are things that I appreciate about the other ones a lot that I don't get out of that first one or whatever. So like that's my hill, which I'm saying it's a hill. Like you got to check out that. It's good to check out both. Don't just say fuck that second one because everyone else says it's shittier. And sometimes that second one that everyone says is shittier is actually better, and everyone just is sucks and they don't
They're
have the same
just
opinion as
jumping
you.
on the bandwagon because it's
Yeah, they don't have the same
cool.
opinion as
Yeah.
you. Yeah, because everyone else says, oh, it was the classic, it was more noir. And like, no, this one's better directed. It has better
Hmm.
actors. Like that one was just, yeah, you saw it first and you have that nostalgic for it. But that the second one actually is better. So that's my hill. Like watch both. Don't just watch one because everyone says that this other one's the better version.
Okay, this is a definitely one because
This is a
yeah,
definitely one. All right.
yeah, definitely die on this hill. Women's pants should have more functional pockets
Fuck you.
available
Fuck
across
yeah, dude. I'm 100%.
yeah, across
I
all style choices.
I think we were on this. Both of you were on this hill. Like when I first found out about this, I was like, "Holy shit!" I felt so bad for you guys,
Well,
and
yeah,
like I automatically jumped on that hill for you with you guys.
I hate purses. The only
Yeah,
times I ever carry a purse is if I'm grocery shopping because I need my phone, my keys, my list,
yeah, yeah.
I need actual stuff. Or like I have a cute little purse for like dates.
Right.
But that's it. I
Oh yeah.
fucking hate it. I love just putting what I can. Like I'll just put whatever. I only carry,
Right.
like now it's just my phone and my keys. I used to have
Right.
phone keys
Phone
and
keys.
smokes.
Yeah, I know. I'm so glad that the smokes and no lighter, no cigarette fucking pack is nice, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's
Streamlines the whole
great.
process.
Like it's for real. It would be so awesome to have deep pockets that I could just put my shit in my fucking pocket.
Right.
Half the reason why I wear sweats and like leggings is because I have side pockets that I could fit my
Right.
shit in too,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I was like my Serendity's pot. Like I was her purse when we first got together, and I understood the assignment immediately because I saw like enough was enough. And I was like, you guys don't get pockets. I'll be there for you, babe. And that's why she married me, dude.
Like someone saying like people who don't use turn signals are bad people, and someone said similar to the shopping cart return theory.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I do agree with the shopping cart return. Yeah, like don't be yeah, just leaving it anywhere. Come on.
Oh, I know. That shit pisses me off. And like my favorite is the women who are like, yeah, well, I have kids. I gotta put my kids in the car. I'm like, or you could just take your kid with
With
you to
yeah,
the like in the shopping cart,
there's so many options, dude.
Well, like
You could
what
go ahead.
I do is I put the kids in the car first,
Right,
that way I could do the groceries and not worry
right,
about them exposed to,
right.
anyone can come and grab them while I'm
Uh
doing,
huh.
whatever. So I do that. And then I unload the groceries and then I close everything. I have my keys on me and I just lock
Right,
my car and I
right.
walk the cart to the thing
That's
and then I unlock my
man,
car, get in and go.
dude. How did you come up with that all by yourself?
I'm
Jeez,
smart,
fuck, man.
I'm
Wow.
an educated woman.
God, you do have a degree or two. Not just the one, just the one. Who are we kidding? Just the one.
You got to stop moving that chair. It sounds like farts when I edit, and I'm like,
Yeah, the chair. I've been eating a lot of beans. All right. Nah, it's hard not to move. It's hard to sit still. All right.
okay.
Plus, I tell you, I found that like gravity bong. I sent you that cool. So there's more than one type of gravity bong. There's like the regular one that that you pull it up from. You
Uh-huh.
pull it up and get the suction. But then there's another one where like basically it's already filled with water, right? And then you with a hole at the bottom, and then you take that plug out, and then as the water releases into the a bottom chamber, it sucks the air in like that. Does that make sense?
That's
So yeah,
cool.
yeah, and I sent you that video. It's like an hour. It's basically like an hourglass, and you have water at the bottom. You flip it over, and you light it, and then all the water coming down. That's what makes it suck in all the smoke. Then you flip it back over, and it pushes it out. And I sent you that video, but I don't think you said it didn't. It
Yeah,
didn't.
I fucking hate trying to open YouTube videos from
Really?
Messenger app. It's such a
Oh, really?
bitch.
No, yeah. And
Oh
then it takes you
yeah.
to some weird. It just takes you back to Messenger or like back to like Facebook over and
Well, it's
over.
like open in the app. It's like, oh, but you need to verify your age. And I'm
Yeah, I'm like, I
like,
don't trust it. I don't trust it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then one time I
Stupid.
did that. One time I got one of those, and then like it said like some shit like that, and I got hacked.
No way.
Yeah, well, it wasn't it just like people. Yeah, I just started sending people like messages like saying like, "Hey, is this you?" Like those things where it's like, "Hey, is this you?" And you click on it, and it's like a TikTok video or something like that, or YouTube video, and you go like, "What the fuck?" All right, let me check out. Is this me? Did someone post a video of me doing some weird shit from back in the day? And you click on it, and then it says like, you need to verify some shit, and then you do, and the next thing I know, everyone's getting videos, the same shit sent from my.
Everyone's getting booty hole videos.
Yeah, it's all just woo woo.
Get that two-factor authentication. I'm telling you, I have that, and I luckily, knock on wood, and to our listeners, set that security measure up on your Facebook
No, I have it
account.
now. Yeah, no, I have it now. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, get that two-factor authentication because it's like a code generator. Anything tries to sign in, they have to type in the code that was text to your phone.
Right. But then
I
that
haven't had a problem, and I've had the same Facebook account since I started Facebook in 2007,
yeah.
which is
But then you heard about that scam where
we got ourselves a scam.
like they would say they hacked me, right? And then they hit you up and they go like, "Hey, dude, I need a favor from you. I'm at the library. Someone
I'm at
stole
the
my
library.
I'm at the library. Someone stole my phone and my wallet. I need to cancel all my shit, but I need to get into my account to do it, and I forgot my password. So I'm gonna give me your phone number real quick, so I can and your email, so I can go ahead and email you this password, and you can give it to me, so I can get into my account. And if I talk real fast and and you're high or whatever, you're like, all right, cool, whatever, dude. And then I send, but I'm actually using your account. I'm just sending you the code for your own account, and then you give me the password, and I get into your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, so that's yeah. So if anyone, obviously though, I've had people try to do that to me. Like one of my neighbors was like, "Yo, what's up, man? I need a favor." And I'm like, "Really, dude? Like this is then." They're like, "Come on, just give me and then they got all aggressive with it, like that was gonna help. Like, oh, all right, since you're yelling at
okay.
me, all right,
Yeah.
since you're yelling at me, I don't see you at all. I'm got in my face.
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
I'll go ahead and
that's
give you that password."
that reminds me of it was my friend that came into town. Some guy was like slid into her DMs and was trying to, you know, just flirt or whatever.
Yeah,
But he was just being a fucking prick
right,
and just like started just because she was just, she's really funny. Like she knows how to shut shit down and she
right,
knows how to do it very sarcastically. Like she
right.
cracks me up. Some of my liners, she had this guy like in her DMs, like fucking around and it just more aggressive. And I'm like, oh yeah, now I'll date you. Like,
Right, yeah, I
so
know.
she talked
Oh,
me into it. You wore me down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. With your aggression,
Like,
with all the shit I hate. Yeah,
oh God, I know. I was like, Jesus, what? Like seriously, like the guy's bruised ego just really, and so he just thought he could fight his way out of that one.
right. Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah, what's the thought process on that one? Like, and I
Yeah.
wonder if it's like one of those things too. Like when it's all done, like, does he regret it, or is he like, yeah, that went how
Yeah, I showed her. Yeah.
or is he like, fuck, why do I keep doing this? Jesus, like, I need to talk to somebody, or do you think it's just,
I don't think he's
no?
that self-reflective.
He's just like,
No.
yeah, fucking told her,
Yeah, fuck that
Cor-
bitch. Bitches are
lesbian,
crazy.
fucking
All of them are the
lesbians.
same. They're all the same. They're
all same.
fucking
They're all
crazy.
lesbians.
Yeah, they're all lesbian bitches, man.
Yeah,
all of them.
all of them.
Can possibly be me.
No, my male pattern baldness.
Oh,
I
that's
just
funny.
assume that's what it is. All right. So what else? What else? Was I?
Okay, this is
You know,
a good
another
one.
hill. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is a really good one. Classic rock has unintentionally become its own genre, and music that is a certain age doesn't belong in it. The Red
Right.
Hot Chili Peppers, the Foo Fighters, etc.,
Right.
do not belong
Mm-mm.
on a playlist with Rush, Journey, the Knacks, etc. We
Right.
went our entire childhood listening to total classic rock station when our parents drove us places, and as such, I do not associate classic rocks that are songs that are X years old. The bands on those stations are classic rock always and forever. The bands I grew up with were always on the alternative rock stations and should stay there.
Right.
It isn't that I feel the cold hand of mortality creeping up on me when I hear The Offspring on a classic rock station. It's that I want to hear some Ozzy, man. Give me some Styx. Give me REO Speedwagon. And someone said, I heard Hoobastank and Sugar Ray on a classic rock station.
Ugh.
Like, what the fuck?
No, dude.
Yeah, for real. I read that. I was like, that's good.
No, I
Yeah,
agree
for
with that
real.
wholeheartedly. Yeah,
I do
and
too.
again,
Mhm.
I do say, yeah, because I know a lot of people will be like, well, yeah, you're just scared of getting. Were you a boomer now? You're scared of getting old.
because it's
But that's
not
not
an
it.
age thing. No,
It's
yeah,
not
it's
at
not
all.
an age thing. It's the vibe. Okay,
It's the vibe
a
for
vibe
sure.
thing. Yeah.
The classic rock had like, musicians playing like solos, and there was like a different sound.
Well, and like
they
the
were
muscle
talking about
cars of the
right.
time, you
They're
know, it
talking
was
about
just the
different shit.
whole. The 70s were just a
A
whole
different
ass
time,
vibe.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
and 80s.
yeah.
The 80s too. 80s classic.
Well,
80s.
yeah.
80s.
Well,
but
early
yeah,
80s,
but for sure,
yeah.
for sure, the late 90s, 2000s is not. Dude, what?
I know. Yeah.
You can't have Hoobastank. Yeah, when I heard Hoobastank or like Creed, I was like, why is Creed on classic rock? Like, no.
I know. When you want to hear classic rock, you want to hear fucking
high pitched men singing.
they have to have long hair.
Yeah, I want at least long in the back. The front is no debatable what the front is looking like, but the long hair has to be in the back for sure. It could be a mullet, it could be long bangs, but as long as it's long in the back.
80s rock does not belong on a classic rock station.
No, I'm saying 70s they had like weird feathered hair.
I know, but 70s is classic rock. Like,
so I'm saying they all had long hair in the back.
You're also saying 80s, like 80s.
Yeah.
I don't think 80s should be in a classic rock station. That's
do. Yeah, 80s for sure is classic rock, dude. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's like early 80s. Yeah.
Okay.
Like 84 and before. That's for sure classic rock.
84 and before.
Yeah.
I like that. That's rhymes. No, just kidding.
Yeah, it does.
84 and before.
Right when you were being born, that's when the fucking classic rock era died, dude. Right, November 84. Prior to that, it was all
the
classic.
biggest pop queen was born that day.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
And then some other music ones. Sirens and alarms have no place in music, especially when I'm driving.
I will fucking jump on that. Yeah, that is true though. I mean, I do get that though. I can't tell you how many times, especially like high or like honestly just completely sober for the first time, driving. And you're like, yes, I'm actually doing nothing wrong, and then just some fucking Beastie Boys song comes on. You're like, and it freaks me out every time, dude.
Oh yeah,
every time.
I was actually going to bring this up. It's funny that I found it on here, but Lady Gaga is a better performer, singer, and artist than Madonna. And somebody commented, I don't consider myself Lady Gaga a fan by any stretch, but I will defend this hill and bleed out on it.
Huh.
I don't know. She is such a good performer. I also think Britney she's got a great stage presence too. However, Lady Gaga, just her energy, like the fucking Bad Romance video, actually watch her, watch.
Okay.
Like she just, I don't know, everything that she does is just so interesting to me.
No, she's bad.
And like the Alejandro video, I can't stand that song, but how she does it right up until the Machine Gun Bra. Like when she's starts singing and dancing with machine guns coming out of her tits, I can't. I turn the video off.
Sometimes, you got to reach. You got to take chances,
But the way she moves and the way she holds herself and the way
the way you move.
Yeah, she's just so good. I
saw this one I saw this one video on the internet. It was like of a live performance where she was just like vomiting pink. It was like green, like Nickelodeon slime onto some chick's head. Fucking
Jesus.
punk rock, dude. It was badass though. I was like, this is Lady Gaga, and it was like, it was totally
Like,
not what I was
that's
expecting to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like she really is that good. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. I think she's one of the best performers. She's got a great vocal range too. She's a great singer.
She is
but,
a surprisingly like good singer. But I think
but
I
like
would say underrated.
singers, I think Miley Cyrus, I'll die on that hill. She's one of the best singers of all time. Like
Think so?
the power, oh yeah, the power in her voice.
I do like the rasp.
She's well, no, she can sing. She can get the range. I'm not really a fan of any of her shit, but I was listening to how she sang that Jolene song and it just gave
Oh,
me
yeah.
the chills. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus, like you could just feel it. Like she's got good energy. Because I love singing, but half my trouble is I just don't have the
The
energy
range.
behind it.
Right.
Well, yeah, the range, that's also a big problem.
You're like, I wasn't even talking about that asshole. Yeah, I know.
I know, I
Oh, yeah, I
wasn't
know.
gonna go there, you dick.
So you're saying Lady Gaga is a better performer than Madonna? That's the
I think I honestly would say she's probably the best female performer,
hmm.
pop performer, yeah. But I also would rank Britney high up there. Now, singing wise, no, but performer, her stage presence, she is a great performer. She's a great dancer. Like she's batshit crazy now, but the trauma of the business will do that to you.
Right. So I will say this. This is like a random kind of like similar kind of hill. Like I wouldn't say it's a hill, but that's kind of hill. So I would say we lived in an alternate universe where one of these artists had to go completely, like all their work and everything they've ever written, everything like that. I would say between Michael Jackson and Prince, it'd be more detrimental to lose Prince than it would be Michael Jackson.
I agree with that one.
Just based off everything that he's also written and like he's written so many songs that people have no idea he had a part in. You know what I mean?
hmm
Plus, there would be a lot less. He had like zero scandals, so that'd be cool too.
That's one factor for real.
Yeah.
Did you watch that video I sent you about the chick who ran that little side hustle with cheating husbands?
Oh yeah, I do that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw that one. Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty. That's pretty. Okay. So what do you think? How do you feel about that? Actually, and that'll lead nicely into the next segment. But go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna give a story of this chick had this side hustle where she got arrested for food poisoning some guests. And what she would do is when a guy would check in with a woman,
She would look him up on social media, right?
yeah, she would look him up. And
If they were with a different woman than he showed up with.
yeah, she would reach out to the wife and be like, hey, your man's here with somebody else. And she would give a menu of items.
A menu,
But-
dude.
Yeah, the things that she could do, anywhere from checking him into a room with bed bugs to food poisoning them.
Which, hold on a
to-
second. They just have rooms that already have bed bugs. They're like,
I know,
oh yeah,
and you know
room
about 'em.
417 to 418.
We're not going to fix the problem.
Those are
We're
the
just gonna-
yeah, those are the bed bug rooms.
You never know when
You never know when a
somebody could be
cheating son of a bitch will
Yeah.
show up to this room. All right, go ahead. Sorry. just fucked up shit. I know there's more. Go ahead and find that out from us.
Would offer a list of services ranging from minor annoyances to the room with bed bugs to food poisoning the people.
Jesus.
And it was a very profitable side hustle for her. And people would pay for the food poisoning. She felt like she was doing a service.
Oh yeah, then didn't she get caught because one of the
One
women
of the wives came down and went full
was like, "Don't worry,
nuclear
I'll
on
come
it.
down there." Oh yeah, tell that part, dude. Yeah, tell that part.
Yeah, she came down and gave
outfit.
the concierge $20,000 for an outfit, and she went into give me a hotel uniform or I'm gonna blow your cover. So she dressed up in the uniform and said, "I'm delivering their food service." She had the wig on, she disguised herself, and she put her head down and started wheeling the food in their hotel room. Her husband was in there with his side piece, and
Right.
for the
But the
meal.
other chick answered the door, right? Like the side piece answered the door.
I believe so. And she goes, he's married, right?
Right.
And she was like, how do you know that? And she was like, his wife's an absolute bitch. And then the wife proceeded to beat the shit out of that girl. And so it came to this huge fucking drama. Police were called. It was just this huge thing. I clicked on because this was a video on Instagram I watched about it, and
Yeah,
I commented, I was like, not all heroes wear capes,
right, yeah,
and did the salute emoji. And someone was like, heaven forbid a woman have hobbies.
yeah. Right.
And
Jesus, though.
someone was like, she's doing community service. She's like, this is iconic. Confused, why was she arrested? I see no crimes
Right,
committed.
right, right.
Sorry, I'm just reading some of the good ones. Yeah, and then but just I would hold the same energy too, like if a chick's there with a guy who's not her husband, but at the same time, if you were to call the husband and say, hey, your wife's here cheating on you,
Yeah, and
it
then
could get violent
the
every
other way
time.
too. How
Yeah.
come is it the other way? That like, yeah, if it was the other way, would she be called? Like, she wasn't
Well, and
calling
that's the thing is, would it be
chicks.
more violent? Like, would the husbands come down
Right,
there and actually beat their ass like 100% of the time,
right, right. And was she
'Cause,
calling? What about? She wasn't calling the chicks. She was just called. I mean, I'm saying
yeah,
like,
she was just telling on the husbands. Yeah,
right,
she
but
wasn't
that there was
telling
a
on the
chick there
wives.
that was doing something too, and she could have been married. That chick that he was showing up with could have been married. It could have been both of them cheating. So she
Hmm.
actually was like, but at the same time, like, yeah, chicks like guys murder, I mean, chicks slash tires and beat asses, but like guys could show up with guns and fucking cause
Oh yeah, they
you
get
know
crazy about it. Well, oh
right.
yeah, I forgot to
Eagles get
mention.
smashed when Eagles get smashed like that, dude. Oh hell no. Too clever, too late, too late.
Too late. Pew, 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 pew.
Leave us a comment, let us know what are your hills you'd die on, or you could shoot us a line at tctlpodcast at
At Gmail.
gmail.com.
And again, these are hills that are nothing too heavy, nothing, nothing
Yeah, no
like
political bullshit.
nothing like that. Nothing again, like it's stuff that like no one really cares about you. But if you get drunk and bring it, and someone brings it up, you're ready to, get down and dirty and have a long conversation. That's a hill that you feel so strongly about that no one else really cares about, really.
Oh yeah.
Those would be great.
Tell us.
All right, tell
Anyway.
us. So I started noticing these around the pandemic, and I kind of got really sucked into them. But am I the asshole stories? AITA
Oh my God.
for short.
Yeah.
Well,
I
okay,
love those. Yeah.
so there's different lanes and there's all. But here's the thing. I read a bunch of them, and a large majority of them, like I'd say like 85 to 90%, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty clear who the asshole is. It's like, dude, you took a shit in your sister's face while she was in a coma on her birthday. You're clearly the asshole. Or the other side of that spectrum where it's like, who hurt you to make you think you're at the wrong here? But the comments all will also, are unanimous as to who the asshole is. However, there is this fringe minority group of stories where it's not clear who the asshole is, which is how I want to introduce my next segment called debatable assholes, right? And that last one would have been a good entry into this, where it's am I the asshole stories, where it is not really clear who the asshole is, and the comments are divided. Some people think this person's the asshole. Some people think the other person's the asshole. Do you follow?
Oh yeah.
Do you get what I'm throwing down here? So I had a few of them. All right. So the first one I had was this girl. She's a college student. She has 3 other roommates. So it's 4 girls, college students living together in a 4-bedroom house, right? Now, one of her roommates who lives the closest to her had her mother staying over the weekend, correct? Right? She had previously asked her roommate, like, "Hey, can you hear when I have people over? Can you hear us through the room through the walls?" And she's like, "No, I can never hear you guys. You're fine." So anyway, her mom, came on a Friday, was going to leave like Sunday or something like that. This girl had a guy over on Saturday night, and she said they just watched TV, nothing happened. They were just kind of just hanging out. Around 5 o'clock in the morning, though, they started making out. That was it. They didn't start like boning. She said no sex. They just started making out. And then out of nowhere, the mom who's visiting bangs on the wall and says, "Shut the fuck up." Now she's asking, is she the asshole for even inviting a guy over while her roommate had her mother over or not? And I'm kind of torn because I'm like, on one side, it's like, you could have just gone to the guy's place. You didn't, the one weekend your roommate's mom was here, you could have just been kind and just gone somewhere else. However, it is your house. It's
Yeah, because it's like
it's like, and you already asked the roommate. You asked the
'cause-
roommate, like, "Can you guys hear us?" And she wasn't like they weren't like doing doggy style or anything like that. The headboards are banging, so I mean, like, it doesn't feel like she was. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm kind of torn. How do you feel?
Well, I don't know. If she's banging on the wall saying shut up, I think maybe they were being a little more loud than she thinks they were being,
Right,
you
right.
know, because she's probably like trying to make the story sound a little less, you know.
Sure, that's a good point.
However, like two sides of the coin on this one, because it's like on one hand, she pays rent, she's allowed to take up space and live in her apartment and be there with who she's allowed to have guests too, and it can overlap, you know what I
Right.
mean? It's whatever. But it's like if you're loud and you know you're loud and you want to do that, then yeah, maybe you can go to his apartment that night, you know? Like
Right, that's what I'm saying. And every
yeah, like
guy,
have
listen,
some respect. But at the same
Right.
time,
right.
like I
The
said,
mom
she
went a
pays,
little hard with it.
yeah, like she's allowed to have guests too. Like,
Right.
why is it that only that one chick? Oh, because it's a mom, you have to
Right.
be all, you know, like
All
maybe
buttoned up.
yeah, because it's like maybe the mom should realize that there's other people who live there and they have lives too, you know?
Right. Yeah, so I'm saying
It's like, there's respect and then there's, you know, just kind of being a little entitled.
entitled. Yeah, it's perfect.
Because,
Perfect
yeah.
word.
Because I mean, I don't know, like the whole world doesn't stop because you're in town, you know, like
Right. Yeah, exactly. Again, and it doesn't seem like she wasn't really, she was kind of vague as to whether she already like had those plans or if she was like
it doesn't matter if she
but
had
yeah.
those plans. Like she could have made the plans 5 minutes ago. Like I said, it's her house. She's allowed to take up space there too. She's allowed to have people
but yeah, it's
in the
also
apartment too.
my point
you
is to
know.
also though, like if I'm the guy and the girl goes like, "Hey, can we go to your place tonight? My roommate's mom is in town." I'm like, "Oh, she's trying to get loud." Like, yes, let's go to my place. I'd be like, no guy saying no to that. So like, I don't
I know, right?
I don't know why she didn't just go like you know. So
Well, yeah,
but
that's the thing. That's the thing is I would probably do that. I would just be like, hey, my roommate's mom's in town. I don't want
Right.
I don't want it to be awkward. So let's just stay at
Exactly.
your house tonight.
and I would have to write
Yeah.
a whole freaking blog on the internet
Yeah,
about
I
it.
would tell all of Reddit what happened.
Right. So yeah, so I think this is one of those situations kind of where it's like really no one's really the asshole here. The mom,
Yeah,
I
no
think the
one-
mom's kind of the dick for being like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
yeah.
I think the mom's kind of the asshole. She's a little entitled about it because it's like,
Right.
look, sweetie, that's still her apartment. She's allowed to fuck her boyfriend. She can
Straight up,
scream
dude.
if she wants, you know?
Yep.
But at the same
The
time,
throes of pat, but at the same time, it's like
well, you wouldn't do that even if that opens up a whole other door because it's like you shouldn't be screaming even if the mom's in town or not. Like have some
right,
fucking
yeah,
respect, you know, for
go to get
anybody.
a hotel, yeah, or
Yeah,
something. If they're gonna be
exactly. Yeah,
going hard
so-
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till it's like Thanksgiving, everyone's gone, but you had to stay or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Next.
yeah.
Do you have another
okay.
one? These are good. I like these. Do you have another one?
I do have some more, but I'm trying to see if trying to find it real quick.
Take your time, girl.
All right, so basically, okay, so I'm not gonna find all the exact details, but find the exact story. But okay, so it's a guy and a girl, both 25, and the girl's the one that's writing it, right? And the girl said that she's been dating this guy for about 9 months. That everything's going great. The relationship's perfect. He's a sweet guy. Sex is great. Everything's great, right? Well, anyway, she's basically the second guy or second girl that he's ever dated because his previous relationship was 9.5 years and it ended because his girlfriend cheated on him. Right now, he did admit to this new girl that he's the one that's writing this, that towards the end of the relationship, the last one, that he felt it was kind of dying. He felt it was, he was kind of trying to pull away, and he started kind of having feelings for this other girl that was in his friends group. Now, fast forward to like earlier this week when she's writing this, he invites her to to go out. He and all these group of friends, including this girl, are going to go out, right? They're all going to go out, and he's begging her to go. You got to come with me. I want to show you my friends. I want to introduce you, blah, blah, everything like that. She doesn't want to go because she's like, it's going to feel awkward with this other girl that I knew you at one time had feelings for, right? But he keeps on begging. So finally, she's like, you know what? I can't. What are the plans again? She asked him about the plans because she's like, I may be able to go for a little while, but work, blah, blah, this and that. And then he tells her, then she goes, by the way, have you talked to that girl specifically? Pacifically? Yeah. I missed it. God damn it. And he's like, yeah, I actually called her, a couple weeks, last week or whatever, just to catch up. That's that's where we got invited out to go together. And she's pissed because he didn't tell her immediately that he called her, and that's the reason that they're partying. But to me, it doesn't seem like it was anything. What do you think? Do you think he was being like? She's like, I don't want to date this guy anymore if he's going to lie about that. But I don't really feel like he lied. How do you feel about that? Did you follow all that, by the way?
kind of. It was kind of hard to follow at the end. So
Yeah, yeah.
they they're going to a party that a girl that he used to like is gonna be there, and
Right.
she thinks he wants to go because she's gonna be there. Is
No,
that
he's saying what she doesn't know. Well, yeah, kind of. I think so. Yeah.
no, yeah, like he had ulterior motives, like the new
Right.
girlfriend thinks that he's doing this because he really wants to see this girl. Is that
He invited this new girl to a party where this other girl is going to be. It's like they all he basically he presented it as we're all going to hang out. I got invited, and I want you to go too. It's important for me to you for that my new girlfriend come with me, right? Is that you know what
okay?
I'm saying? But then when she asked him more details about like how'd you get invited, he goes, "Oh yeah, I actually called that girl and we took just to catch up. You know, we haven't talked in a while. And then she said, "Hey, we're all getting together this weekend. Do you want to go?" And he's like, "Yeah, me and my new girlfriend. I want to, blah blah blah." And she's thinking that, but she's saying that it's bullshit that he didn't tell me right away. That's how the plans came into fruition. If that makes sense.
No, it does. I'm just sorry, I'm thinking about it because now I'm almost wondering if he wants her to go so bad so that he could rub the new girl in the old girl's face. Like,
I was thinking that too. Like, what if he actually did call that other girl up and to talk, and she's like, "I'm actually dating a guy." And he's like, "Oh, well, me too," you know. And then like, he did
yeah.
have ulterior motives, but now that he found out that she's not available, he wants to kind of like prove that he has a girl. So that's why he wants to bring her.
Did it say how long ago those two were together or dated? Like, did they recently break up
Well,
or?
no, okay. So the other girl that they never dated. So the other girl, so he was in a relationship for 9.5 years. This other girl, he was dating for like since high school, right? But towards the end of that relationship, that girl cheated on him. While he was dating this other third girl, he started having feelings for this girl that's going to be at this party, and it's in the friend's relationship that he called.
Yeah, that was confusing. Okay.
Right. So there's a third girl that he was in a relationship for a long time, but towards maybe like a year and a half ago, he had
So he
feelings.
just has feelings for the party girl.
But yeah, but he never he said he admitted like, yeah, towards the end of my last relationship, I started having feelings for one of my friends. Basically, that's how he told her.
Oh, okay,
And
okay,
yeah, it's like
okay.
I started having for my because I realized the relationship was ending, and I felt like it was ending, and I just wanted to be honest. So he seems like a real honest guy. He didn't have to tell her that at all. There's no reason for him to tell her that.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
I feel like he's just an honest guy. I don't think he was trying. I think he's probably just like one of those guys is just kind of gullible and doesn't realize that
Yeah.
that he just it looks bad, but in my opinion, but he could be also the end of that where I said like
And
he,
so
he
what's the argument here?
is she the asshole for being mad at him for not telling her right away? Like when he goes like, "Hey, by the way, I called this girl and she invited us," instead of him just being like, "Hey, we got invited." Is she the asshole for being mad at him and like basically like she's basically breaking up with him because of it?
Okay.
Is she saying is she the asshole or not?
I think she's an asshole for overreacting.
A little bit,
Like,
yeah.
I think she's overreacting for sure. I mean,
Because again, it was a 9 month relationship that it has been, and yeah, she's like, and I can understand if she's like upset about it, but she's like, I'm ready to end the relationship or break up with them because
yeah.
over that. I was like, that feels like at 9 months, that feels like this something bothered me. Can we talk about it? Kind of thing, not like
I know. Where's your communication
right,
skills?
not
Yeah,
fucking.
exactly.
Let me write a post and call it a quits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it to Reddit instead.
Right.
Well, it's funny,
Right.
like the shit people break up with people. I don't know. I'm like, I hear those stories and I'm like, damn, do I have really loose boundaries? Because I wouldn't necessarily break up with somebody over that, but I don't
No,
know.
yeah. A
Maybe
lot of
she,
these too are like a lot of these are like that feels like a talk. That feels like
yeah.
it feels like a
Like, did
hey,
you even really care about this guy in the first place? If he's that disposable to you, then
right.
maybe you should break up with him. He probably deserves somebody better than that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You should probably break up with them, but not for the reasons that you're, saying. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. That's crazy.
And man, I had more, and I need to get better at like figuring out how to like save them somewhere.
Just screenshot him. That's what I do.
Yeah, but the thing is like this because some of them like it's too big for one screenshot. I guess good screen. Duh, it's multiple screenshots. So am I stupid?
You
What
can
am I
only take
retarded?
one at a
What am I
time, okay?
retarded? Yeah, you're only allowed to take one, and then that's it.
Oh, offensive.
Oh, offensive. That was not the proper use. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh. We still have to make that, dude. Oh man,
Yeah, we do.
project for this week. But yeah, dude. So yeah, again, that's gonna be I want to say
A
reoccurring, but
retard.
it's just yeah, it's gonna be a recurring
Hard.
segment because there's so many and I like there it's a fun lane to go down.
Oh, totally. We should. I'm down.
But yeah, go ahead. So now we have the soundbite too for the crimes. So let's go ahead and you said you had some because I have a couple crimes too, and then
Yeah,
we
I
can
have
kind of.
some. I have some fucking weird ones.
All right, so we'll go back and forth because mine are more like I feel mine are more like important historical things that people should just know about. So and then yours are probably more. So I think that we could go back and forth. You know what I mean?
This one I found really weird. This law was passed in China in 2007. China's government passed a law requiring anyone seeking to reincarnate, particularly in Tibetan Buddhism, to get approval from the government.
That's a crazy ass crime.
In 2007, the Chinese government issued this regulation to control the selection of reincarnated monks. The government was particularly concerned with Tibetan Buddhists and sought to prevent the Dalai Lama from choosing his own successor. While no case has yet challenged this, fucking duh, it remains a bizarre law requiring government authorization for spiritual matters. Like,
Whoa.
what the fuck is that?
Whoa, we need like a clip of like Bill and Ted like
Whoa.
yeah, dude, that's gnarly. What is that? Why the fuck that government's getting? But then that makes you go like, man, do they know something we don't know? Like the Tibetan government. You said it was the Tibetan or Chinese?
Well, no, it was Chinese. The government was particularly concerned with Tibetan Buddhism, so it was more of a, you know,
Okay.
shunning the Buddhists. They didn't want that.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't want
Whatever. That's still a weird
that.
thing.
It is. It's so fucking weird.
All right, so mine is kind of like an important, not really important, but it is. It's something that we all experience all the time, and we don't even. A lot of us don't know why, especially our younger viewers. But when you go to buy over the counter medication
Uh-huh.
and you pull there's that foil seal, or when you go try and squeeze some face wash on your face and you can't, it's because there's that foil seal. Well, the reason why was the 1982 Chicago Tylenol murders, right? Where
I
five
think I remember
separate
that.
right. Well, yeah, it was one of those things where it was before we were born, but it kept coming up in the news and the media, and they kept scaring us with it. And there was a lot of copycats of this, so that's why it was like well into the 90s. It was like something that they were always concerned about. Like don't get any medication if it's got the seal broken, like if it's ripped or if it's got not the airtight thing or whatever. Don't get any milk that doesn't have
Milk.
fuck. I did it again. Mel Gibson, if he don't watch any of these movies, but yeah, so the reason is that the 1982 Chicago Tylenol murders, where someone was going around putting potassium cyanide in random Tylenol bottles, just opening, and this is before, of course, how easy it was just to open up a top of a Tylenol bottle and just pop in a random pill that looks similar. The authorities, after doing an investigation, because they didn't know if it was coming from the manufacturer level, but they found 5 different bottles that killed 7 different people, and there was further bottles they found later on, and they came from 2 different places. They came from Pennsylvania and Texas, so it couldn't have been the manufacturing level. So it was someone in Chicago just going around again, just dropping cyanide randomly into different stores and different random Tylenol bottles.
That's a crazy ass crime.
It was, and they still haven't. They don't have no idea. They didn't charge anyone yet. The only person they have charged was some guy who for extortion because he sent a letter to Johnson and Johnson. That's who makes this Tylenol product, and he for $1 million, demanding $1 million for him to stop doing this. But he wasn't even doing it. He just was like, "Give me $1 million and I'll stop." But he wasn't doing it. He actually wasn't the one doing any of it. But they got him for extortion on that one. But he's the only one that's been charged at all in kind of connection with this crime. So they still don't know, was it 43 years later, who was doing this at all. It could have been some random teenager, could have been some mad scientist with diabolical plans. So it could have been some World War or Vietnam veteran. Who knows? CIA, who knows? That's the whole reason why everything has a tamper seal now. And it's a federal crime to fuck with a tamper seal. Like if they catch you doing that in a store, that's federal. Not just a slap on the wrist kind of crime. So,
Damn,
yeah,
that's crazy.
All right. So what's your next crime?
The case of the stolen bridge. This happened in Russia in 2019. A gang of thieves in Russia managed to steal an entire 56-ton metal bridge on an Arctic city of Murmansk.
Where was this at again?
Murmansk.
No, but like what country or?
Russia.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They dismantle it piece by piece and sold it for scrap. The
That's some-
police eventually tracked down the culprits, but the bridge was never fully recovered.
Dude, that's like some extreme meth head shit, dude. Like so they like instead of like sawzawing off a catalytic converter, they stole a bridge, dude, and sold it for scrap.
That's a crazy ass crime.
That's
Well,
gnarly,
the
dude.
incident raised serious concerns about infrastructure security. Do
Yeah, you think?
I just
Oh,
said
look at that. Boom.
jinx.
Jinx. So my next one, yeah. So to bring it down to a much darker note. So
Oh, cool.
I'm sure we've all seen crime shows or just like if anyone's ever been arrested and they read you that thing where like you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do. We all know it, right?
Yeah,
It's
the
called
Miranda rights.
The Miranda. Now, do you know why we have that? Where it came from? What originated it from? Or whatever how you want to say it?
To let you know that you have the right to shut up and not incriminate yourself.
But why is it called Miranda? Why not fucking Roberta's Law or some shit?
Roberta rights.
Roberta rights. Yeah, you have the Roberta.
I'm gonna call
rights.
it that.
Yeah.
Have you read me my Roberta rights? Well, this is arrest is null and void.
Yeah,
Until I
sorry.
see the-
Well, that's
until
what
I-
happened. So basically, this guy, not the ones I was gonna say Lin Manuel Miranda, but that's like the guy that wrote that one musical, Hamilton or whatever. So it's not that guy.
Oh, you know.
But anyway,
who
this
writes
gay name
musicals
was-
now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very popular.
I don't know him.
Yeah, because you're 40, dude. That's why.
Okay. Good one.
I got like 3 more ones to say that. All right. So anyway, this guy Miranda, and back in 1966, he robbed a place, kidnapped two of the women, and raped one of them. And when they caught him, he admitted to it. He had previous crimes. The woman was like, "Yep, that's the guy." Found guilty, sentenced to whatever he was sentenced to. However, he had a good lawyer who later was played by Ryan Felipe in a movie, who said that his Fifth Amendment rights were violated when the officers didn't tell him that he had the right to not self-incriminate himself and just go ahead and confess everything. And he actually got off because of that. And they had to retry him. But that's why which is kind of fucked up that they called it Miranda. They should have called it like whatever the victim's name was. No one even knows her name. They should call it her name law, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's the reason why they called the Miranda laws, because that the last name of that dude who got off of a murder, rape, and robbery, because the cops didn't inform him of those small little, hey, you don't have to say anything. All right, you got any more? I got one last hot droppings. All right, you get it.
Ew.
Yeah.
This is the case of the stolen fajitas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Speaking of hot droppings.
Ew. Okay, so a Texas man, Gilberto Escamilla, stole over $1.2 million worth of fajitas over 9 years while working at a juvenile detention center. He was ordering fajitas using government funds and reselling them for profit.
That's a crazy ass crime.
What was his name again? Say his name, Roberto. Of course, it was.
Gilberto Escamilla.
Of course, dude. It was stealing fajitas. All right, say it again. For those in the back.
Gilberto Escamilla.
No,
Come
I'm saying
on
what?
down.
Okay. So
what?
he stole. All right, run it back, dude. He worked at a juvenile detention center, and
Yes, and he bought fajitas.
Mhm.
He stole $1.2 million worth of fajitas over 9 years.
like, was it every fajita Wednesday he would just like take extra or what? How was
Yeah,
he
he
doing
would
this?
order it with government funds and then resell them for profit. He was caught when a supplier called to confirm a delivery on the day that he wasn't working. And I guess,
Oh.
they found out that, yeah. And so he was sentenced to 50 years in prison for
Oh,
theft.
I mean, 1.2 million. Yeah,
Damn. He
So I
stole
bet
from
they're
the
like-
government and they're going to get ya.
they called in like, "Hey, we just want to confirm that order of fajitas for Thursday." He's like, "Well, we've been having grilled cheese every Thursday. What the fuck?" They're like, "That's they're like pissed off."
We
that-
got him. We got
Got
him.
I knew it smelled delicious every Thursday. It's too good for these grilled cheeses. Wow, dude, 1.2. That was a hustle though for a minute. Good for him, dude. 9 years though,
Yeah,
a whole
you know?
like his whole 30s or whatever it was.
I mean, anybody who steals that much money from the government, I applaud
Is a
them.
is a hero in my
yeah,
fucking
exactly.
salute you, dude.
Not all.
Yeah,
cooks are
in fact,
heroes,
he needs to
man.
team up with that chick. He needs to team up with the chick who had the side hustle, where she was
Of the
like,
cheaters,
you know,
yeah, catching the
exactly.
cheaters,
Doing that, boom,
yeah.
yeah, power couple, and then she could be like, and part of the menu is this fajita plate.
I know, and then he'll make the fajitas and then she'll put the food poisoning on it.
Right. Boom. And then she's like, hey, beating asses get you pretty hungry. You have this fajita plate. I gave her like a Mexican. Give us the fajita plate.
That's funny.
Fajitas. But yeah, that's wild. 1.2 mil. For
I know,
fajitas.
that's crazy.
Hold up. Give me 1 second. I know. Edit that up. Actually, hold on.
Oh my God, I just thought of this. I was like,
Yeah.
would we like manifest us like having a studio where we're in, in the same room recording video, and Serenity could be our David, and we could ask her to look
Yeah,
shit up.
That's
And
true.
when we ask her to look shit up, we could be like, Serenity now,
Yeah.
because she hasn't heard that enough,
I know. No, before she ever, I actually had to be the one to show it to her because I was like, you never see. She's like, I was like, you've never seen it before. She's like, oh, I've heard it. I've heard it plenty of times. I've never seen it, but I've heard it my entire life. Like she would like that show, like that episode came out the day she was born, I think. So I don't know if you knew this, but like cheese is one of the most stolen foods in grocery stores, and
Wow.
it's also worth some of the biggest heists monetarily in history. Like for instance, just recently in October of last year, 22 tons of cheddar cheese from Neal's Yard Dairy in London was stolen with an estimated value of $390,000.
That's a crazy ass crime.
Wow. I need to start stealing cheese.
In 2015, an armed gang stole $875,000 worth of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese from warehouses and factories.
Wait.
I'm not gonna do it again.
No,
Nope.
please.
Nope.
Please.
That's the one time you get it.
Oregano.
Parmigiano.
Oregano. Like, no.
How do you say the second one? Reggiano. What I'm reading, it says it's Reggiano. That's after Parma. That's hyphenated next to Parmigiano. I'm saying it white as
I'm
fuck.
not going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it.
I couldn't bait you into this one. Damn it. It's that Reggiano. Parmigiano Reggiano.
Hey, yo, Reggie. Got
Hey, yo, Reggie.
Reggiano.
Reggiano.
The man who legally changed his age. This happened in the Netherlands
How recent was this?
in 2018. Emil Ratelband. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
A Dutch man tried to legally change his age from 69 to 49, arguing that he felt younger and that being officially younger would improve his chances on dating apps. Okay. A court rejected his request, stating that the age is a biological fact and not a choice. However, his argument sparked discussions about identity rights. I mean, people are saying they're a different gender, but like, I mean, it's a biological fact that they're not, and so
Yeah.
so if they're going on terms of that, I mean, I think if someone could change their gender, they could change their age, by way of logic on that
I
one.
guess, yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Huh.
I don't agree with any of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everyone's stay the way you were born.
God damn it, stay in your miserable shell like the rest of
Yeah.
us. No, I don't give a shit. But I mean, at least he's not trying to do it like a creepy low age, but I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing I was concerned about. Like if he's trying to
Like,
go
you
from
feel
69
like
to
you
49,
look
like
49,
why'd you need that on paper though? I mean, like I guess wouldn't that be like, and it also I think if it was the other way,
if
if he was
someone's
like,
gonna look him up and then they're gonna see, oh, you're lying about your age, so he can make it legal.
so he can, so he's trying to do this to get younger poon. That's what he's trying to do, right?
Yeah, he's trying to get younger poon, and so that's
that-
where I'm like, I
all
don't
right,
know.
it's kind of gross, dude.
I know,
no.
it's kind of weird.
No, fuck you. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I say no.
Yeah.
I guess yeah. He's like, you have to have the surgery to make your chin better, and then we'll talk. Or I don't know. Like,
You must get Botox. You look fucking
Yeah, yeah.
terrible.
Botox. Get some Botox. Get rid of those crow's feet. Then we'll talk about changing your age. Until then, yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
This is the story of the man who robbed a bank to escape his wife.
That's a crazy ass crime.
Right.
United States. Of course, it happened in America.
Right.
in 2016.
Right.
Lawrence Ripple, a 70-year-old Kansas man, walked into a bank, handed the teller a note demanding cash, and then sat down in the lobby to wait for police. Okay.
Right. Okay.
When arrested, he confessed that he preferred jail over going home to his wife after an argument.
Right.
A judge sentenced him to 6 months of house arrest, forcing him to stay at home with his wife instead of going to prison.
That's fucked up.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, so there was the one that like kind of prompted this whole thing. So that I had to give shout out to my wife Serenity for it. But she's the one that sent me that one where this guy, it was the Mississippi, where he actually like he was partying at his house, and his wife was working like in town, and then so he actually like broke the levee to the dam to prevent her from coming home, because he knew if she came home, she'd shut the party down. She's like, I'm working all day, and she shut the party down. So he broke the levee and flooded the whole town basically to keep her from coming home from work.
That's a crazy ass crime.
To stop the
Damn.
party. Yeah, and it's like a legendary like flood that happened like in the 90s or something like that.
God damn.
And it was just to prevent his wife from coming home and stopping the party, shutting down the party.
I know,
For a
can you
few
imagine
hours,
the
dude.
people who lost everything and
Oh yeah, no, he got charged with a lot of shit.
I know, like I
wasn't
know
cool.
people who would pull shit like that, like the fucking redneck idiots, and
Yeah.
I
You're
know
like,
people
"Fuck,
who would
man."
pull shit like that, and it's just like, God, the lives you're just because you just want to drink a beer.
So
you know?
selfish. Yeah. Just, yeah.
Terrible
one,
people.
One more, and then it's one of those things too, where like you get halfway through that beer, you're like, oh, actually, I don't even want this beer. You know what I mean, like,
I know, and then you pass out like 5 minutes later.
exactly. Did all that for nothing. dude.
Fuck.
All right, so I do have one more that I feel kind of important. Like, okay, so this one's about 911. Now, everyone knows about 911. It's the emergency phone number. If you're in any kind of danger, if you're being chased by someone, if you get stabbed, you get hit, anything happens, you know, instinctively, they've been teaching you for schools forever. You dial 911, but that wasn't always the case prior to the 1960s, right? So we have to this woman named Kitty Genovese is kind of to thank for that. So in the early hours of March 13th, 1964, Kitty Genovese, a 28-year-old bartender, was raped and stabbed outside the apartment building where she lived in the Kew Gardens neighborhood of Queens, New York, United States.
That's a crazy ass crime.
2 weeks after the murder, the New York Times published an article erroneously claiming that the 37 witnesses saw or heard the attack and that none of them called the police or came to her aid. The incident prompted inquiries into what became known as the bystander effect, or Genovese syndrome, and the murder became a staple of the U.S. psychology textbooks for the next 4 decades. And also,
Wow.
basically, later on, it also got into the fact that there was no emergency number for them to call. Basically, at the time, you would call the main police, and then they would route that number. You get an operator, then they would route it to wherever it need to go. Blah blah blah, and then all that. Even though they had 37 witnesses that saw it happen, none of them were able to get in touch with the police because there was no emergency number. So this also is what prompted them to call to create a universal number that anywhere you're at, if you're in Georgia, if you're in Texas, if you're in Washington, 911 is the number. You know what I mean? And it was because of this
How
1964
shitty is
murder.
that because
It took a
you had
murder.
it took you dying for all the kinds of
And I always think that's what a crazy, like I've always thought, because me and my friends, we had a stream discussion about this one time, and it was like, what if like you're meant for something really important, but it's something really dark? Like, everyone's like, what if I'm meant to be like a pop star or like a great writer? Or what if you're meant to get murdered so that laws get made to save other people? What that's your purpose? You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's fucked up. But that was her hope. But yeah, she had to get murdered and have over 35 people witness it before they decided, hey, we should make it easy for people to get in touch with us if something's happening.
I know. Thanks, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. But salutes to you, man. She deserves a day or something.
This is the case of the man who faked his own death and then sued the police.
Mm.
It happened in India in 2015. An Indian man faked his own death to escape debt collectors. When he was eventually caught alive, he sued the police, claiming they ruined his life by exposing his fake death. The case was thrown out, and the man was charged with fraud.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it's one of those ones where like he's actually living free, and you're like, what the fuck? Oh my god, dude! Have you ever heard that the Israel Sagia case?
Uh-uh.
Oh my god, give me 1 second. Hold on. Let me make sure I got his name right. Well, basically, okay. So basically, what it is this, it was this Asian guy who was born in 1949, right, to a super rich family, and they were very affluent too, as well. And so they had a lot of influence or anything like that. And anyway, like all rich kids, he wasn't raised by his parents. Obviously, he was raised by like lesser relatives, and like the help. And anyway, one of those relatives, somewhat along the lines, he gave him this fetish that he wanted to eat women's flesh, right? I was like, I like from since like the age of 7.
Ew.
So anyway, at the age of like in his 30s, he decided he wanted to go study art in France. So they sent him to France. His parents sent him to France. Like, yeah, go ahead, we'll pay for it and everything like that. So they send him to France. He gets to France, and he still has this, desire to eat women. But here's the thing: he's like 4'9". This guy's like 4'9".
Of course.
He's tiny little Asian guy, right? Well, anyway, one day he's walking home and he sees this like cute German girl, and he's like, man, I want to really eat her ass, dude, for real, like straight up. And then so he follows her home. He stalks her. He waits till she falls asleep. Then he breaks into her house, dude, and then he just bites her on the ass. And she wakes up like, what the fuck? Like she freaks out and I'm like, what the fuck? And then so I guess she told him like, hey, stay here, little motherfucker, because he didn't go anywhere. The cops show up. And they arrest him, and then they charge him with like attempted rape. I guess we don't know what this was. So anyway, Daddy shows up. I guess money exchange hands, and like that was it. He just moved on with his life. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't. He realized that like any fucking person who wants to do weird shit that society shuns, he realized that, well, I have to leave no witnesses now, right? So he's like, if I want to eat a chick's ass, which I really do, I still want to eat the chick's butt. I have to murder her before. So he meets this chick that he wants. He finally figures this the one, and then like one day he decides to invite her over. And I guess he planned. He tried to kill her a couple times. Like he tried to shoot her in the back of the head with the gun jam, and she turned around like, "What's that?" He's like, "Oh, it's just, my gun. It's pretty cool, right?" And then he tried to like feed her like poisoned bagels, but she's like, "I'm off carbs today," and he's like, "Just take a bite." And she just wouldn't. Yeah. And then finally he's like, "Tonight's the night." And then so he invites her over to like look at some pictures or whatever, some paintings, and then they have some dinner. So they eat some dinner. He confesses his love to her. She's like, "Dude, you're 4'9". I'm trying to see some uncut French dick out here." You know what I'm saying? So like she shuts that down. So he's like, "All right, fine. Just look the other direction for a second." And then he shoots her in the back of the head, kills her. Then he starts having sex with her dead body. And then he chops her up and starts eating her. And later on, he says like, he's like, the face meat tastes a certain way, different from like the buttocks meat. So he starts eating this chick and all different parts of her. But then finally he realizes that it's this, when they say I'm hungry enough to eat a horse, like this is a whole human body. He's a small guy. So he finally decides he has to chop this body up. So he does. He chops it up. He puts it in some suitcases that he has. And then he goes downstairs and hails a cab, right? And the cab driver shows up, and the cab driver says later on, they even made some jokes. He's like, "What do you got in here? Some dead bodies?" And the guy was like, "It's just books." And he was like, "Okay," like all awkward. So then his plan was to go to this pond and just drop off these dead bodies at this pond, or there's dead body parts of suitcases.
That's a crazy ass crime.
But the pond is way more packed than he expected. So he ends up just leaving them there. Somebody finds these suitcases, calls the police. The police show up. They're like, "Well, somehow these bodies had to get here somehow, these suitcases. Let's start asking cab drivers just on a whim." And then one cab driver's like, "Actually, I totally even made a joke. Like, there's actually was body parts in there. Wow." So he's like, "All right, small Asian guy at this apartment complex, right?" So they immediately find him. And immediately he's just like, "Dude, right, guys, I finally did. I killed her and I finally aired her. I've been trying for weeks, dude. It's crazy." But he's nuts, right? So they take him to the French, prisons, and they evaluate him, and Daddy shows up, right? And the French government deems him insane, right? So they say, "You're insane. You're gonna,
shocking."
Right? No, but check this out, dude. It gets
I know.
It gets bananas though. So they go. Have you heard this before?
No.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So anyway,
story.
Okay. So so the French government has him. He's insane. The French people start losing their shit because they're like, "Dude, this guy, he literally killed, fucked, and ate a chick in that order. Like, are you serious? Like, we can't have it." And he's a Japanese citizen. We're paying all for this guy to live. Like, fuck this guy. Get him out of here." And they just kept pressuring him. And finally, the prime minister, I guess, what they have over there in France. Anyway, he's like, "All right, finally." So he sends them to Japan. "Get out of here. Go to Japan." When he gets to Japan, the Japanese have a completely different view of this. And they're like, we're going to reevaluate this motherfucker because what the fuck, dude? So they do. And they come back with their verdict and they're like, okay, so the shit that he did, that was insane. But he is not technically, like, legally insane or not competent to stand trial. So we're going to put paperwork saying that he is not insane and he's competent to stand trial, right? All we need from France is for them to send over the evidence so we can go ahead and try this motherfucker. And France goes, nah.
Why?
Nah, we're not going to do it. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, we're just, no. All you have to do is just like, we'll fly down there and get it if you want. Like, or you can just like mail it. If it takes like, we don't care. Just, they're like, we're just not going to, nah, dog, nah. And so now, this is like in the 80s though. Japan they had already said that he was not insane, so they couldn't hold him in the mental institution. But now they had no evidence to try him. So after a couple of weeks, they had to let this motherfucker go. And he's still alive. And he's just hanging out alive. And he lives off his parents' money and interviews that people do. And he's just out there in Japan alive. And everyone knows he again killed, fucked, and ate a chick in that order.
Well, he's definitely done it again. He's doing it.
You think? I don't know though, man, because like you would think they at least
don't know. You don't.
No, I'm
do
saying
that one time.
But the Japanese government has to be keeping they have to be keeping a close eye on this motherfucker for sure. And then like over there, like the Big Brother, like everything is CCTV over there, so like everything's covered. So like they're probably keeping a real close eye on this dude. But yeah, he probably did do it again. Yeah, he probably figured out a way.
Damn, that's crazy.
But he for sure at least
like,
won.
Why did France just say no?
I know,
like,
that's the thing. That's
fuck?
like, yeah, that's why it's such a crazy story. When I heard it, I was like, what the fuck?
Wow.
And I had to like look it up more, and like I went down like a bit of a rabbit hole with it. And like, yeah, but no one can really explain why France was just like, and I want to say it's because the dad had to have like paid him off something or had something on them or some kind of something. Right.
Oh, yeah. It'll probably
like I said, it wasn't just a rich family. They were like very like that's why he kept getting out of shit, and like they were very influential, and so they had connections like that. So he may have, and that's why I think he went to a mental institute in the first place in France, because they're like dad paid him off and was like, yeah, just send him to like a nice cushy place.
Yeah,
but
then they had to go and because I liked their fancy footwork, so they could try him and like send him away, but their little plan backfired. That's
right, dude. Yeah, it was on the right track.
It was it was a great plan, but
it was all the right track, and they're like because it was so odd. They're like because why? Because they were thinking the same thing. Everyone was like, of course France is going to send us. Why would they not? They have no reason not.
I know,
to it makes no sense for them. So of course it was like it wasn't even like a free throw. It was like a shot that they even had to take. They thought, like it's already a point we already have on the board, and like, oh shit, wow, okay, I didn't know they could do that. I don't know, yeah, and then who do you take it up higher? Like who's higher than like?
I know.
Who would you take it to from there? If France is like no, Japan no, then who does Japan and France go and like who do they talk to and be like, hey, Saudi Arabia, what do you guys think? Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Britain, but I guess maybe like. It would have to be somewhere in like Europe, like England or something like that.
The Geneva Conventions.
Something like that. And then Geneva would be like, are you wasting our time for this is disgusting. But yeah, that's crazy though.
That's a crazy story though. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, that's crazy that he's just and he's like in his like it's funny, he's like a year older than my dad right now. And like so he's like in his like mid 70s. And again, I've seen pictures of him and like he's like living like in a nice super rich guy kind of place. Pretty secluded though, seems like, but yeah, still doing interviews. People are still interviewing about it.
Crazy.
And paying him a lot.
A serial killer squirrel gang. A group of rabid squirrels in Russia reportedly attacked and killed a dog after barking at them too much. The town installed extra squirrel-proof fencing and advised residents not to anger the squirrels.
Weird. Interesting.
The town in Norway banned dying.
Huh?
Damn.
How can you? So how do you punish? How's that? Who do you punish? Like, how do you punish them?
Right.
In the
town of Longyearbyen, Norway,
It's illegal to die because bodies don't decompose in the extreme cold. So if you're sick, you got to move somewhere else to die legally.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
Again, how do you enforce that?
yeah, exactly. Though, like, what are they gonna do? Kill me? I thought that has to be like a running joke. Like, what are they gonna do? Kill me? You know?
I would stay out of spite.
Exactly, dude.
I'm gonna
And
die
unless
in the middle
they
of the
figured out
town.
some kind of like technology to like just like reanimate just your head and like, all right, that's the punishment. You gotta like live to 10 years. It's just a head now. Then that'd be fucked up. Then I'd be like, all right, I'll move. I'll die somewhere else. Fine.
That
And
would be
how
weird.
far out of town do you have to go to die again?
Probably just to somewhere else. Move somewhere else. It's just what it says. You must move somewhere
Oh.
else.
Just somewhere else. Okay.
Probably somewhere a little warmer.
Yeah.
Like,
Is there
where
like
your body can decompose.
Jeez. So this is a fun little audio fun fact for you.
Okay.
Remember that movie Jurassic Park? I'm sure you do.
What movie was that again?
Yeah. So the raptor sounds, you know, the raptors,
Hmm.
they're actually mating tortoises. That's where they got the sounds from.
Interesting.
Yeah. And this is another one. It's not musical related, but every 2 minutes, people take more photos than were taken in the entire 19th century.
Wow.
Yeah, every 2 minutes we're taking more than that whole century.
That is crazy. When was the
I mean-
camera invented?
I thought it was like in the 19th. I don't know. It had to be in the 19th century, right?
Yeah, let me ask.
Maybe the
The, fir-
18th.
the first camera was invented in 1816 by French inventor Joseph Niche. Joseph
That's-
French name.
Joseph French name.
Joseph
Is-
French name.
Is that his real name?
No, it's an actual
Oh.
French name, but I can't pronounce it, so it's just Joseph French name.
No, have you ever seen that though? Like where it's a name that like it actually it sounds like that. It's like a word. You're like, that's not like it's I thought it was like one like that one 30 Rock joke where like Tracy Jordan's like freaking
Spaceman.
out.
Yeah,
And he's like, such a
Spaceman.
spaceman, such a space like Dr. Spaceman.
I know there's these fucking these weed gummies. They're space gems, but I
Yeah.
call them spachemins.
Spaceman. That was like one of my I never forgot about that one, dude.
I know,
Dr.
me either.
Spaceman, Dr. Spaceman.
Yeah, it's Dr. Spaceman.
No, what a way to spin that one,
but
dude.
Tracy was the only one who called him
Yeah.
Spaceman.
But it's such a weird way to spin. I was like, I did not think they were going to be able to pull that one with it, you know, Spaceman.
Oh my God,
like-
that's a segment I wanted to do is like if you were to pronounce words how they really
Oh,
are
yeah.
spelled. Because we went on about it in my driver's ed class, this one dude, for the whole quarter.
Right.
We were and the joke even lasted after we were out of high school. Like we'd see each other and like
Right, yeah.
say
Still-
stupid shit.
Right.
yeah.
That was your inside thing forever.
Like for the the Schlage keys, you know,
Right.
the company Schlage, but he's like Schlage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember there was like, remember I ever watched that show Scrubs?
Oh, duh.
Anyway, there was this one character, like they call him Dr. Beard Face all the time because he had a giant beard. But then one day he was like, it's actually pronounced Beard Face. But that was his real name or whatever, you know. But he just, whatever. Similar joke. Similar
that's funny.
joke.
That was interesting.
Yeah. This podcast is not just funny. Sometimes it's informative.
It's informative, yes,
Yeah.
very informative.
Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes on Sunday. No, that's not it. Some days on Sunday. Sundays at some time. We'll figure it out.
No, it's Sundays at some point.
All right. Sundays at some point. There you go.
I'm keeping all of that in.
Mhm.
Sunday, sometime on Sunday.
I was getting the S's. The S's were there.
And then you're like, we'll work it out. I'm like,
Yeah.
or
Sunday.
this is
some-
Sunday.
Sunday.